Gentlemen, let's broaden our minds. Lawrence?
Oh boy, do we got a show for you today. Oh boy. Oh man. How's it going, everybody? We got some acolytes, some DCU discussion, DC Elseworld discussion. We got some Marvel discussion. And a little update on what's been going on in the realm of Slav's Free Talk and calling out the cringiest of the cringe when it comes to the DC haters out there. So let's get into it. What do you say? How's it going, everyone? Hi. Glad you can join us. Hope you all had a good week. We had a great show last Thursday, so hopefully you're able to join us for that. Welcome to Monday night. Monday nights are a little bit different than Thursday night shows. We cover news. It's not as much of an open discussion. I do want to have an open discussion with you, so feel free to leave comments. Feel free to send some super chats to support the channel. We love the support. We love the support. Become a Slav Geek Talker as well. We would love the support. $2.99 a month. We got a comment. Critic Chris. Hey, bud, what's going on, man? How's it going? Thanks for stopping by. Oh, man. Yeah. I do want to start off, before we get into the news and stuff, I do want to... I can't believe I have to do this. I can't believe I got to do it. But I have to. I have to do it. All right. So, there's a channel out there. How's it going, everybody? There's a channel out there who I've been talking about recently. Now, I called him out. I wanted to have a debate with him about DC. Why I thought he was wrong. He said no. Pay him $1,000, $10,000, whatever it is, dollars, and then he'll debate me. Obviously, I'm not going to pay him that kind of money. It's ridiculous. It's conversation. It's about superhero stuff, dude. Come on. Like, let's have some fun. Let's have some fun. Let's have a cool, fun, wholehearted debate. Whatever. Didn't want to do it. So it is what it is. You move on. He said some more things on his channel, so I responded to it. Did another video where I tried to do a cool-hearted debate that way. Didn't really work that way. I cannot say this name. Hey, how's it going? I cannot say that name, but hey, how's it going? He also says that guy was greedy. Critic Chris says me too. Anyways, before we I'm going to get to the comments when I can, so bear with me here as I talk. So I kind of responded to his response video, but he refuses to mention my channel by name because he doesn't want to give me, acknowledgement. He doesn't want people coming to my channel. Whatever. I don't care because, again, it was never about that. It was never about getting people to my channel. I just wanted to have a cool debate with somebody who had a differing opinion than me. So that's what I wanted to do. He didn't want to do it. Whatever. That's fine. Well, I have a couple people on my Twitter who love sharing. They message me constantly like, hey, did you see this? Hey, did you see this? Hey, did you see this? And somebody shared me his video from, I guess it was Thursday or Friday or something like that, where he was talking about the Superman suit. And I don't watch his videos. I don't go out of my way to watch his videos. But this one, I was like, what the heck? I'm bored. I got nothing going on. Let me watch his video. So I watched the video. And very plainly in the video, as he's talking about the suit, he talks about how terrible the suit is. And he says it in the video. If there is anybody out there who can show me proof, show me evidence that this suit is, that there are suits that are terrible as this, he says, then I want to see it. Show, but there is no proof. There is no proof. He promised there is no proof. So I go and I make a video in response because that was his call to action. His call to action was show me proof. And that is what I did. But I did it in a funny way. I did it via parody. I did it like Weird Al Yankovic in a parody type of way. I went and created in a Photoshop a background like his. I took the first 3 sentences of his video and reenacted them to be funny. That is what I did. It's called parody. And most people are, typically like flattered by that. But he got angry. Did I, or was I influenced? I should say, was I influenced by his thumbnail? Absolutely. But I changed the font, I changed the wording, and I put it out there. It was to get his attention. I wanted to grab his attention. It was his call to action. His call to action was show me proof. And how else am I going to get his attention than to say, hey, look at me. I'm just like you. Again, that's the parody. That's the fun in it. And that's what I did. So I posted this video probably 2-3 days after he posted his. And sure, in my channel's metrics, it blew up. Again, I'm not saying I'm a big channel. I don't ever claim to be a big channel. But for my channel, it blew up. It did really well. And absolutely, that's fine. But it was all in jest. It was all in fun. Look, I'm a superhero pulp culture movie fan. I love movies of all sorts. It's good fun. I love movies. I love talking about movies. Always have. I've been doing podcasting and discussing movies since like 2016 in some form or fashion, whether just audio or video. It's good fun. I've been calling out people who misspread information or spread misinformation or spread lies for same amount of time. And that's what I started doing with him, just a couple weeks ago. I called somebody else out. They did a video just the other day, didn't mention my channel by name. That's fine. Again, that's not what it's about. But he mentioned that he had a video or somebody was commenting about him and his videos and how he's talking about negatively about the DCU. I offered, but he never even talked about that offer. Okay, that's fine. At this point, I will just go out there and just rebuttal and make sure everybody understands that what people are saying is untrue. It's not true. Most of the time, what they say is they are so caught up in their own emotions that they will tell half truths or they will twist the truth and make it sound like it's real so it fits their narrative, and it's not. So he gets all upset and he went on to one of my comments or onto that, not on my comments, onto that video and commented, "Oh, you need to change that thumbnail and the title. You need to do this. And if you don't, I'm going to report you to YouTube." So I discussed it with a couple people. And at this point, my channel, again, a small channel, I don't typically get a lot of views after the first 2 days, anything like that. And again, we talked about it. It was like, it was never about the views. It was about getting his attention. And I got his attention. So at that point, I was like, what's the harm in changing the title, changing the thumbnail? So I did. I changed the title and the thumbnail earlier in the day. Now, how much did I change the title and the thumbnail? I changed them enough so it is not exactly what his title and thumbnail were, per his instructions, per what he wanted me to do. And that's exactly what I did. Well, I guess it wasn't enough for him because on a video that he posted just a couple hours ago, I guess, he stated he reported me to YouTube for copyright. Now, this is the problem that we run into because I'm just having good fun. I'm sitting here trying to make jest. I'm sitting here trying to have a conversation, have a debate, what have you. He even admits in this video that I've not done anything nasty and done anything really bad with him. Yet he goes and does something like that to try and destroy my channel. When I sit there and talk about the toxicity of this fandom, about this specific section of the fandom, that's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. Because he can't take jokes, he can't take comedy. And that's what he turns around and does. That is what is kind of ridiculous. So that to me, that's what's going on. Look, I'm not going to back down from calling out the people who talk about all this misinformation and these lies and spreading lies about the DCU. And I'm gonna be honest. There are gonna be times when I'm wrong, and I want people to call me out when I'm wrong. As long as you have proof and evidence to back it up that I'm wrong, please come at me and tell me I'm wrong. I expect nothing less, and that's what I want to see. But I'm a movie fan. I'm a pop culture fan. I'm a superhero fan. And all I want to do is have fun. All I want to do is just have fun, laugh, and make content about the stuff I love. And sometimes I'm going to call out the people that are making a mockery of what I love. And when I do that, at least have the balls to come talk to me face to face about it. At least have the balls to sit there and say, "Hey, I don't like what you're doing," and say it face to face. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. All right. Okay. Enough of that. I got a bunch of chats here. How's it going? I see Fatal J. What is going on, Fatal? Thanks for stopping by, my man. What's going on? He says, should have never folded. You can talk about other YouTubers. It's fair use. Exactly. But I don't think he's copywriting me for that. He's trying to say it's the whole thumbnail and title thing. Let's see. What do we got here? A whole bunch. Again, this I'm gonna say your name is Vahanush. I am terrible with names. I'm so sorry. He says that guy was greedy. Jalen says hello, first time sub here. Love your videos. Thank you so much, Jalen. I hope you stick around. Critic Grease. What? Chris greedy indeed. Critic Chris. He flip flopped. Impressive. He says. Talking about the Superman suit. Critic says he's a drama queen. He finds whatever to berate anybody. And Jalen, are we talking about Aaron Fisher, dude? Yes, we were. Yes. Critic is going to talk about his whole situation with him. You can go right ahead and do that, Critic, in the chat. I'm not going to go through all of that. Andrew JD, I couldn't catch the beginning of the stream, but hi, JD, Andrew JD, how's it going? All right, so let's get into the first topic here. I want to bring this up. This might be a touchy subject for some. I do apologize if you're not used to this with my type of content that you've been catching recently for me. I do talk a lot about DC, and I try to not fall into that sketchy political stuff anymore. I was doing that months ago, so I apologize. Holy crap. Okay. All right. Look, I got to call this out. I have to do this because look, I have to, this is the only loop or video clip I have. Sorry. I had to do that because that's all I have. Fatal J with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, dude. Thank you. That is a huge win. He says, keep calling out these clowns. These cats lost to Snyderverse when they didn't support Cavill and Black Adam. Thank you so much. That is amazing. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate the super chat so much. You have no idea. Thank you so much. All right, back at it. So with this first topic, again, I don't recently haven't typically been covering this type of stuff, but I was in months past. I kind of got away from it, was really covering DC stuff and trying to stay away from the political talk and the more controversial type of topics. But this is really interesting because Acolyte has been, man, that was a mess. It was a complete mess. That show was horrendous. And I don't know if any of you saw The Acolyte or watched it or what you thought of it. I thought it was a terrible mess of a show. It was rightfully canceled. It should have been canceled, rightfully so. It was badly written. It was badly acted. It was badly edited. The VFX were horrible. It was badly directed. There was so much wrong with this show. And sure, there were parts of it that you could see that there was an agenda that was pushed. But Amanda Stenberg, who was the lead actress in the show, doesn't think that's the case. She goes on social media and says, of course, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised that this show got canceled because of the alt-right bigoted racist fans. And that is basically what she did for about 10 minutes. Goes on a rant about how the entire show wasn't basically perfect. And it was just the alt-right bigoted racist fans that caused this show to get canceled. She even went so far to call out YouTube. She called out YouTube for the show being canceled. And I couldn't believe that she did that. She says, taking no literally taking no responsibility at all, that the show just wasn't good. Here's the crazy thing, and I'm not going to get too into it because I'm sure there's plenty of channels, plenty of people out there who talked about this, but this show was bad. Diversity existed in Star Wars before The Acolyte. But what about Kelly Marie Tran and John Boyega? Look, there are assholes out in the world, racist assholes in the world, and they will always make a whole to do about any diversity, anything that happens in any project, whether it's Star Wars, it's James Bond, or Mission Impossible, or DC, or Marvel. It doesn't matter. If there's any sort of diversity going on in anything, there's going to be racist assholes who make a big deal out of it. Star Wars, because of how big it is, it does get amplified a little bit. But doing stuff like this, over there, doing stuff like this only amplifies and really, I mean, in a way, just empowers those people who make those racist remarks. Take ownership of your show. Take ownership of how bad it was. Realize that it wasn't good. It wasn't a good show. And believe it or not, if you would do that, you would be shocked at how many people would come out and say, you know what? We're impressed with how Amanda Stenberg's coming out, or whoever, whatever actor, actress, or filmmaker part of that show comes out and says, you know what? We dropped the ball. We dropped the ball. We disappointed the fans. We are sorry. If they would come out and say that, they would earn so much respect from the fans. But they're not. They're blaming the fans, and that's all they keep doing at Star Wars, is blaming the fans constantly. And they wonder why the fans keep turning on them. And that is a big problem. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts about all this. Like I said, I don't want to get too much into it because I know a lot of people's talked about this. It's been talked about for months and months. I did video after video during the whole show going on about this. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Let me catch up on some of the chat here. Mr. Nerd goes $5. Jalen, holy hell, that insane cruel. Okay, I don't know what you're saying there. There's a lot of, I don't even know what's going on here. TSC Pulse, I love this channel, man. Fire. Found about you today. The writing and pacing of the show was just terrible. Talking about The Acolyte. It was. The pacing was bad. The writing was bad. There's so much bad about that show, but yet they just constantly blame the fans for the cancellation. They blame others for the cancellation. We saw that the viewership wasn't there. Nobody watched the show. It's just pathetic. It is pathetic. Critic Chris said, had people thank me for staying. I guess you're talking about Aaron still in the chat. Okay, gotcha. Let's see. TSC Pulse also says they make films for fans and get mad when they criticize it. Exactly. When they make films, if they were to make films for fans and actually take ownership and say, oh, we kind of screwed up, then that'd be a different thing, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it now? All right. Next up. Big story today. Well, this kind of started breaking last week. Last week, we started hearing word that DC was going to be casting a Hal Jordan in the age range of 45 to 55 years old. Okay. So then the fan cast started to swirl around. We know that Chris Pratt was seen with James Gunn on the set of Superman. So everybody was like, oh man, like Truth said, that crazy son of a bitch, James Gunn is going to cast Chris Pratt as Hal Jordan Green Lantern, and I can't even be mad about it. There was somebody that asked James Gunn on Threads, if you had the chance to cast any of the Guardians of the Galaxy stars in the DC universe, who would you cast him as? And he says, well, that would be a spoiler, wouldn't it? So people started, theorizing, could it be Chris Pratt? Could it be this person? Could it be that person? And there were just so many theories going around for days and days. Well, and then today, this one. We heard from Nexus Point, whatever news, which I still don't know where they came from. They really came out of nowhere, and I still don't trust them. I don't trust them yet. But they came out of nowhere today with breaking news that Josh Brolin was offered the role of Hal Jordan, and quickly followed up from Jeff Snyder from the InSnyder, stating, yes, it is true that on Friday, this past Friday, that Josh Brolin was offered the role of Hal Jordan for HBO's big budget sci-fi series, Green Lantern Corps. So that's interesting. Josh Brolin. Now, I heard, and I think it was talked about a few weeks ago, that Josh Brolin would be coming back into the Marvel fold again to play King Thanos. Now, granted, that's going to be a smaller role from what I understand. It's going to be a small role. My guess is it's just going to be to show the power of Doctor Doom as he kills King Thanos. If it happens, if it doesn't, we'll see. That's neither here nor there because I don't really care. This is interesting, though. Do we see Josh Brolin as Hal Jordan? Do we see him as Green Lantern? That's the question because, Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, Josh Brolin, that's an old old Hal Jordan. That's like, he's like 56 years old at this point in time. That's pretty old. And then we got Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner. We still don't have our Jon Stewart. Now, I thought I remember hearing a rumor a while ago that Guy Gardner was going to die in Superman. Spoiler. It's just a rumor, though. Could happen, may not. Probably not. Maybe so. Who knows? But if he does, then we only have 2 Green Lanterns. If he doesn't, then we have 3 Green Lanterns. That's wild to me. Wild that we're going to have so many Green Lanterns in the DCU. But let's see. If this could look... I mean, first off, I'm trying to picture a scene with Nathan Fillion and Josh Brolin together. That just... 2 things that just don't seem right together. First of all, that's just wild to me. But now you got to start thinking, who could the Jon Stewart be? Now, obviously, Josh Brolin has yet to accept this offer, if this offer actually happened. But it's an interesting thought for sure. I don't know if I like it. I think he's too old, but don't worry. We're gonna hear from a bunch of people that say, oh, but they wanted to go younger with Superman. Now look how old they're going with Hal Jordan. We're going to hear that for sure. But I want to know what you all think about this. I think it's interesting. I think it's an interesting casting possibility. They're going 45 to 55 years age range, that age. Josh Brolin is a great actor. I also think he needs to kind of leave some comic book roles to other. He was Jonah Hex, he was Cable, he was Thanos. My God, man, leave some comic book characters to everybody else. But what do you think? I want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. But let me see what the chat says. What do you guys think? Let's see what you all think over here in the chat. Jalen says, yes, Green Lantern news. Critic Chris says, I don't believe about Brolin. People jump to conclusions so easily. Yeah, I mean, Nexus Point News, I don't trust them. I still don't. They've not proven anything to me. I still don't know where they came from. I don't understand where they came from. So I don't know. But the fact that Jeff Snyder said it, and I'm not saying that I trust him 100%, but the fact that he's talking about it is definitely more promising that there's a secondary source that is not connected to Nexus Point News at all. Again, that doesn't say a lot because scoopers can sometimes get their information from the same person and not even know it. But yeah. Troy, I'm not going to say even try that last name. Troy, what's going on, man? I just saw his response video, and wow, he is a piece of work. Look, I responded at the beginning of this show. If you want to go back and check it out, you can see my response. But yeah, go check that out. Critic says, I'll just wait till it is what it is. Aziel, me personally, I think Josh Brolin could fit characters like Vandal Savage or Slade or someone like that. I could see him as Slade. Vandal Savage, not so much. Slade, absolutely. But Slade is... Take this the right way, because I know they're 2 completely different type of characters. 2 very different characters. But his portrayal of Cable makes me think that he could play Slade. That's why I think he could play Slade. But yeah, I know they are 2 completely different types of characters. It's just the way that he portrayed Cable, his mannerisms, the way he put himself off is why I think he could play Slade. TSC, honestly, I wouldn't mind an older Hal, seeing that he would be a mentor. Yeah, I mean, again, we're going to have Jon Stewart as well, so it makes sense. Like having Hal Jordan be 30 years old and Jon Stewart 30 years old, I don't think that works. Having Hal Jordan older than Jon Stewart makes sense. I still don't understand why Guy Gardner is going to be in there. To me, I just don't understand why we're going to have like 532 Green Lanterns at one time. I'm just kidding. I'm interested to see how it plays out. Look, I have a buddy who has been dying for Green Lantern in the DC films universe for years. That's all he's wanted for so long. And when it was teased in uh 2017's Justice League, when Steppenwolf, no lanterns here, like he lost his mind. He lost his mind. So the fact that we're getting this, oh man, he's gonna lose his mind just over this. Jalen says, I really don't hate it personally, but wasn't my first pick. Well, who was your first pick, Jalen? That's what I want to know. Critic Chris, if any, I can see Brolin as Parallax. Interesting. The Fandom Man, how's it going? Personally, I don't think Josh is right for my GL, maybe Deathstroke. It's the second person who says that. TSC, yes, Aziel. Yeah, thinking about it now, Vandal is not so much for Josh, but I could imagine even having a Deathstroke inspired on his time as the Terminator when he was wearing blue. Jalen, you can never have too many GLs, Slav, especially after years of nothing. Exactly. All right. Let's get to this next story here. We're going to stick with the DC-ness here. And this one, I don't really care about, but I figured there'd be people out there who do care. So this story is the Penguin creator explains why Robert Pattinson's Batman won't appear in the series. That's right. Penguin series will not have Robert Pattinson in the movie. He described Penguin as a different experience, adding, I think Gotham is an interesting enough city that it deserves to have more doors unlocked within it and for us to walk through those and see what we think. He goes, I feel like it's an extension of what is fundamentally there. We know this is the world of Batman, the filmmaker added. You're going down a different alley. So the specter of Batman is there. The specter of Riddler is there. The specter of everything that happens in the last movie is there. It informs it, and it's exactly where we begin. I completely missed the big paragraph I wanted to talk about, because I understand why people's desire would be to have Batman, or to think that unless Batman's in a show or film, then it doesn't have the same punch. Showrunner Lauren LaFranc recently explained. To me, I think it packs a different punch. Matt's films are through the lens of the Batman. So you're high up, you're looking down on the city. It's a different perspective. With Oz, Penguin, you're in the city streets, you're in the grit and the muck and the grime. He's looking up, wanting to claw his way to the top. I get it. I get why they decided to go this route. Look, I wasn't a big fan. I say this all the time. I wasn't a big fan of the Batman. I fell asleep in the theater watching it. It took me a few watches to finally get through that movie. I wasn't a big fan of it. So a Batman-less Batman show is probably not going to get me to watch. I'm going to watch it. I do a show. I do a channel like this. I got to watch it. I got to talk about it. But it's going to be interesting to see how it works. It could be amazing. It could be phenomenal. I'm hoping it is. But I have that desire where I hope they at least showcase and allude to the idea that Batman is out there. They talk about it. They talk about him being there. I don't want it to just be this city, be Penguin, be these gangs running around, and there's no mention of Batman. That's my concern. I don't mind that Batman isn't there if they at least talk about the threat of Batman. As long as the threat of Batman is there, I'm fine with it. And I know a lot of people are like, well, they don't mention Bruce Wayne's not there. Well, sure, we'll see Bruce Wayne maybe. That who cares about Bruce Wayne? Honestly, we don't watch a Batman movie for Bruce Wayne. Let's be honest, we don't. We watch a Batman movie to see Batman. So that's what we want to see. When we watch a Batman property, we want to see Batman. So when we go in and watch something like this, that's what we're going to want to see. That's what we're going to want to see. And I do want to point out something here. The real reason I brought up this topic is because of a viewer. Viewer Krypton7368, he put on one of our comments, because I always ask, what kind of stuff do you want me to talk about on my shows? Krypton7368 said Batman not camoing in the Penguin because of Matt Reeves wants to put the perspective on the Penguin. I just wanted to shout that out. Look, this show is as much for you and the viewers and the audience as much as it is for me. I love doing this, but I want you, the audience, to feel included in this show. I want to talk about stuff that you guys want to hear about. So I want to shout out to him for giving me this topic for today's show. So thank you so much for that. But let me know what you guys think. What do you think about the Batman not being in the Penguin? I kind of think he's going to show up. I think they're just saying that. I do. I think he's going to show up. That's just me. I think he'll show up. But let me know what you think in the comments below. What do we got going on here? All right. Geez, Jalen, you're just excited about everything. Yes, Penguin news. I get that. Cool. As even if Batman does not appear in it, I'm interested on Reeves' deeper take for the Penguin, like explore him as a character a lot more than even before. Yeah, I mean, again, I wasn't a big fan of this take of Batman's universe, but I get people that are excited about it and they want to see further exploration, and I won't take that away from them. I mean, it's continuing, so go for it. Explore it as much as you can while you still can. Matthew says, I wanted a Wonder Woman film, a Star Trek film, and a Star Wars film. Then Wonder Woman 84 hit. Star Trek never arrived, and Star Wars is trash now. My desire for Cavill Superman 2, puff of smoke. Well, sorry, man. Don't know what to tell you. The Fandom Man, you got to admit every single casting we've gotten in the DCU so far has been really good. What's your opinion? Look, I agree. I mean, I think Corn Sweat's great. Rachel Brosnahan as Lois has been great. Nicholas Hoult as Lex is perfect. Wendell Pierce is phenomenal for Perry White. Phenomenal casting for Perry White. Who else do we got? I mean, John Cena for Peacemaker, but that was before the DCU. I can't think right now. Oh, what's her face for Supergirl? Perfect casting. I mean, yes, we have some excellent casting for the DCU so far. I'm looking forward to it. And if Josh Brolin is the one for Green Lantern, Hal Jordan at least, I'm willing to give it a shot. And I don't hate. It's never a bad idea to put in A-list actors, great actors in a role. It's never a bad idea. It's just I have other ideas. That's all. Let's see where I lost my chat. There it is. Matthew Goddard. Loved Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning. Hated No Time to Die. Had mixed feelings on The Last John Wick. I honestly haven't seen The Last John Wick yet. I'm slacking on that, let me tell you. Critic Chris actually thought they should have done a Batman Beyond with Pattinson. Nolan already covered Batman's early years. It would have been cool. For sure. Would have been cool. TSC Pulse, I get why some are upset, but Batman not being in the Penguin series isn't a big deal. It's also expanding Gotham's world and focusing on Penguin's rise. It still connects to Reeves' universe. Again, yeah, I get that. My concern, not from just me, but you get the general audience. Like, is there enough draw? Is there enough pull for the general audience to watch it then? You make a Batman series without Batman. Is it enough pull? At least a series like that. Because, you could say, oh, you had the show Gotham on Fox however many years ago. And sure, that was a Batman series without Batman. Sure. And it drew in, enough to have, 5-6 seasons, whatever it was? Okay. Yeah. It did okay. But that was more of that wasn't as serious as the Penguin was. That wasn't this type of series. That's what I'm curious about. It could do gangbusters. It could do great. I think, and if it does, that's awesome. But if not, that's okay. Then I just know I'm right. I'm not always right. Aziel, not so related. Oh, whoops. Not so related, but how would you want John Murphy theme for Superman to sound or be? I'm a bit worried, but I trust him. His high evolutionary theme and Starro theme were pretty cool. I am a huge John Williams and Hans Zimmer fan. I'm actually just listening to a podcast right now called 20,000 Hertz. I don't know if you've ever heard of that podcast. They talk about sound and movies and just sound all around us. Not just movies, but it's sound all around us. And I'm literally on an episode where they're talking about Hans Zimmer. And I love Hans Zimmer. I've loved Hans Zimmer for years, since the early 2000s, when I really started discovering orchestra music even more than I knew before. Hans Zimmer is amazing. And I loved his score for Man of Steel and what he did with Superman and Batman and all of that, even with the Dark Knight trilogy. John Williams, he was my introduction to orchestral scores and music for films. Star Wars just blew me away when I was a kid. Those were the first soundtracks I ever owned as a kid. I went to the Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra. I live outside Pittsburgh. I went to Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra and saw John Williams live conduct the Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra. It was phenomenal. I was 12 at the time, 13 at the time, somewhere around that age. It was phenomenal. I love orchestral music, and I'm an instrument player myself. I play the drums. I love music. It's phenomenal. So for me, I want him to do his own thing. Do I want him to honor the past, honor the what's come before? Absolutely, that would be great. But just like what Hans Zimmer did, where he was like, "You have the John Williams theme, and it's phenomenal. It's great. It is what it is. That's always going to be. You can go ahead and just do your own thing over here, just like Hans Zimmer did." And that's what I want him to do. See what he can come up with himself. I would never have expected Hans Zimmer to do what he did. And that's kind of what I want John Murphy to do. Is just do his own thing. I don't want to be guessing. I don't want to expect what he does. All right, I'm going to move on to the next topic. There's a lot of comments here I can't catch up on. I want to move on to the next topic here. This one I'll do really quick, though. Looks like there's a rumor that's been... Some people are saying it's confirmed by this article, but it's not confirmed by... So Variety posted a few days ago, Harrison Ford's Red Hawk Thunderbolts on Daredevil Born Again first looks debut and Marvel 85th anniversary video. And everybody's all excited. And then I saw on Twitter that Sentry confirmed for Thunderbolts. And I was like, what? Sentry confirmed? They confirmed Sentry's going to be in Thunderbolts? What are you talking about? And way down in this article, all the way at the bottom, it says, Top Gun Maverick star Lewis Pullman plays a mysterious character named Bob. That's where they're getting the confirmation for Sentry. Like, what? That's literally this whole article. I read this article. I read it twice because I'm like, did I miss something? Is there something I missed in here? Is there something I missed? Now, don't get me wrong. Sentry in Marvel Comics, his name is Robert Reynolds. Okay, so he's playing a man named Bob. So they probably put two and two together. Like, okay, he's playing a mystery man named Bob. Bob is short for Robert. Okay, so Lewis Pullman is Sentry. Is he? Is he not? I think it's a good possibility that he is. Okay, so we'll go with he is. So who is Sentry? Well, some compare him to Superman. They do. They compare him to Superman. However, the way he gets his powers, he kind of like stumbles across like a laboratory and a formula called the golden century, or no, this is golden century serum. Sorry, because he's named Sentry. It's golden century serum. So I'm guessing in the movie it'll be kind of connected to the super soldier serum, that kind of thing. So as I'm thinking about it, it's like, okay, maybe this Bob is Sentry. Are they really going to bring Sentry into this? I don't know. I mean, I just think this is ridiculous. This is interesting that they got this whole idea that Sentry's in the movie just from this. Lewis Pullman plays a mysterious character named Bob. Like, my first name's Robert. Could I be? Am I Sentry? Like, I mean, how ridiculous can you be? And this is from Variety. Now, it wasn't Variety who stated this. Let's put that on the front here. Like, I don't have the tweet up. I meant to bookmark it and I forgot to. And I just thought it was ridiculous. I thought it was ridiculous. But he is an interesting character in the comics because of his like superpowers and how he got them and everything. He kind of goes down like this dark path at one point in time, and he has like this alter ego called the Void. Now, if Marvel does this right and it actually like goes this route, it could be really, really interesting and really different for Marvel to explore. I'm hoping they do that. I do. But let me know your thoughts. Do you think that we will get Sentry in Thunderbolts? Do you think it'll be Lewis Pullman's Bob character? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Jalen goes, Bob? Like Bob the Builder? TSC Pulse. I hope they do Sentry justice. I think so. I hope they do too. I just don't know. Is that going to be him? I don't know. Chris Elkins, what's up, my man? Just recently subscribed earlier today, and I like what I hear. And the Penguin looks interesting. Again, if you like that kind of stuff, if you liked the Batman too, it's probably going to be right up your alley for sure. Jalen says Sentry is very complex origin and story character, to say the least. Exactly. And that's the thing. They could, if they go the right route with this, if they follow even roughly the story of Sentry and his descent into madness, essentially, it could be so interesting if they do it right. But then again, has Marvel done anything right lately? TSC Pauls, who the heck is Bob? Exactly. Who the heck is Bob? Oh, man. All right. Let's get into the main topic here, because this is what we're all waiting for, right? July 2025, a blockbuster month in cinema. Head over to slavsfreetalk.com. That's where you're going to find this article. It's a nice, fun, couple-minute read for sure. But it's a huge month. It is a huge, huge, huge month for movies in July of 2025. I'm telling you, man, this month, we haven't seen a month like this in a long time. And there's a lot of people who sit there and say that Superman is going to get crushed. Are they, though? Is it, though? Is it? So Jurassic World is the first one to come out. Jurassic World Rebirth, directed by Gareth Edwards, starring Scarlett Johansson, and Mahershala Ali. This will mark the 7th installment in the iconic Jurassic World series. That's crazy. They've made 7. This is the 7th movie? Man. This comes out July 2nd, 2025, and it is currently filming right now. On July 11th, we get Superman by James Gunn, starring David Cornsweet, Rachel Brosnahan, Nicholas Hoult, Skylar Gisondo, and a bunch of other people. This is going to come out on July 11th, and it's looking to be like a banger. They are in post-production already. And then on July 25th, we have Fantastic Four: First Steps, directed by Matt Shakman. Cast includes Pedro Pascal, Vanessa Kirby, Joseph Quinn, Eben Moss-Backrack, Julia Garner, and Ralph Ineson. So that's what we got. And that's currently being filmed right now as well. And this is the latest that we got from that, which is really, really interesting. So there's a lot of people who are sitting here saying, oh man, Superman's going to get crushed by Jurassic. And look, Jurassic World has made nearly $4 billion. The last 3 movies made nearly $4 billion from 2015 to 2022. That is insane amount of money. There's no reason why Jurassic World should stop. I mean, it's made a crap ton of money. And we know what kind of money Marvel has made with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So Superman is kind of stuck in the middle there. And yes, that is kind of a dangerous spot for them to be. There's no denying that. There's no denying that at all. But what does this mean? Like, what does Superman have to do? Does Superman have to move? Should Superman have the right to stay? Will Fantastic Four move? Will Jurassic World move? There's a lot of questions. There's a lot of different things that could happen. All right. We're still, 10 months away from this. A lot of things can happen. Production delays could cause one of them to move. Here's the thing. Jurassic World Rebirth, it's going to have, it's VFX heavy, not quite as VFX heavy as, say, Fantastic Four. It's VFX heavy, but probably not as VFX heavy as Superman. But I would say Jurassic World is probably not the one that's going to have to move, or probably not the one that will move, at least not move first. If any movie moves from their date, at least first in July, it's going to be Fantastic Four. And there's a couple reasons why that could happen. Okay. Number one is, like I said, the VFX are going to be heavy for Fantastic Four, very heavy. And if Fantastic Four wants to look good, if it's going to be the best that it can be, and it needs to be good, with how many losses Marvel has had over the last 5 years, it needs to have a banger of a movie. So if they want to make this as good as they can, they need to give it the time it needs. And if it means pushing it back a month, 2 months, 3 months, they're going to do it, and they need to do it. But here's a more interesting thing. Right now in 2025, you have Captain America: Brave New World coming out in February. After that, you have Thunderbolts coming out in May. After that, you have Fantastic Four in July currently. And then after that, in November, you have Blade. Well, let's face it, Blade's not coming out. No, Blade's not coming out. Blade's not even filming. Blade doesn't have a done script. Blade doesn't have a full cast. Blade's got nothing. It is unlikely that Blade comes out next November. That would mean over the next 2 to 3 months, Blade would need to get this script together, get a full cast, get a production crew, get scouting done for locations, and get filming. Blade's not happening. So you take Blade off of 2025. That leaves a nice little spot open for the holiday season for Marvel. Fantastic Four could fit in that holiday spot. If they wanted to keep it in the summer, they could move it to August. August is still summertime. There's nothing really coming out in August. So they could move Fantastic Four to August. However, if you move Fantastic Four to that November, early mid-November, there's not too much coming out in that early to mid-November time frame. You give it enough time, it's still in that holiday time frame. You give it that boost into Thanksgiving, even could keep it in the theaters through Christmas if you really wanted to. It's not a bad idea. It really isn't. And it gets you away from Superman and that whole clusterbuck up there in July. So what does that mean if they were to do that? I'm not saying it's going to happen, but we're just kind of saying what could happen if they did that. What could happen? So that means Superman could stay where it's at. But Jurassic World, they're sitting there and they're like, well, you know what? If we come out on the 2nd, that's only going to give us 2 weeks of box office before Superman comes out. And then our box office draw is going to drop. Like, regardless of how good their movie could be, people are going to go see Superman, and it's going to pull from any residual box office that they could have at that point in time. So what they could do is they could just shift their date to the end of July, where Fantastic Four was. And they could shift there, jump, and just hopscotch or jump right over top of Superman to the end of July, and then not be affected by Superman at all. That, to me, that whole scenario seems like is what's going to happen. It makes sense to me. It makes the most sense to me. It really does. Because they're going to want to spread Marvel out across the whole year. With Blade not coming, we know it's not going to come out. It's not. It's going to get delayed again, if not just straight up canceled at this point. So Blade's not going to come out. They may move Thunderbolts. They may keep Thunderbolts where it is. Whatever. Captain America's coming out when it comes out. But if you move Fantastic Four back, if you spread it out a little bit, you can move Jurassic World, get it away from Superman just a little bit, even if it's an extra week, leaving Superman where it is. That is the most logical thing. Now, if that doesn't happen, another thing that does happen that a lot of people don't like to talk about for some odd reason, but studios will make backdoor deals. They will go there, and James Gunn could call up Kevin Feige and be like, hey man, look, we had this July 11th, we had this whole thing building up to it. We really don't want to move. Is there something that we or Warner Brothers can move on another day to really, give this date? Like, what date do you want? Could we move something for you so you can put your movie or another movie here for you? And they can make a deal where they rearrange, and we could see a whole bunch of movement from these studios where Fantastic Four eventually moves. That's another possibility. Same thing with Universal and Jurassic World. James Gunn could call up Universal and do the same thing with them. This type of stuff happens all the time. So people sitting there saying, oh, Superman's going to get crushed by these movies. It's not going to get crushed because there is going to be movement. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's just what's going to happen. How's it going to move? Now, here's the thing. Let's be the pessimist here. Let's just say nothing moves, okay? Nothing moves. Everything stays where it's at. Because they're going to just all say, you know what, we're going to bank on the people. People are going to go to all these movies, which I think is a terrible idea because people don't go to the movies like they used to. Well, let's talk about Superman because Jurassic World is going to make money. That gets a huge appeal across the board. It does. Everybody loves Jurassic World. Everybody's going to go see it. It makes $1 billion. Easy. Fantastic Four is a Marvel movie. It's going to get money. It just is. So Superman, what's going to happen to it? Well, I've been saying for quite some time, it needs to be marketed well. Marketing is going to start at the end of this year, beginning of next year. I think you're going to get a little piece of marketing at the end of this year. Little piece. But come February, that's when the marketing is really going to start to start. It's really going to start for Superman. But what does it need to do to be successful? Now, this was on one of my comments on one of my videos. I don't remember what video it was. This guy says, decent isn't enough. Do you guys not understand that decent money doesn't mean it all goes to James Gunn's projects on Warner? That money goes to other as well. My friend, this movie has to be a hit, and trust me, people are going to be more hyped and motivated to watch Fantastic Four and Jurassic Park. Fantastic Four has the Marvel and Disney brand. That alone is enough to catch the children's eye for the toys, merch, etc. Same with Jurassic Park. Like I said, Superman is in the casuals' eyes is lame. Let's be honest, casuals are the majority. And casuals have had enough Superman already. A mid-tier TikToker can get more views than a Superman movie nowadays, dude. Just saying. This whole DCU is a desperate, drowning child. And the way it's being structured, it's bound to fail, especially being at Daddy's Shadow MCU. Always and always, just my opinion. Don't mean to be negative, but sadly, this is a reality. Okay. So I want to talk about this because he does get one thing right here. He does. He says the casuals are the majority. That's the first time I've ever heard somebody say that that's not a true DCU fan. That says that the casuals are the majority, because that is the truth. It's not the Snyder fans that are the majority. It's not the DCEU fans that are the majority. It's the casuals. The larger, broader audience is the large audience. Those are the ones that are going to go see it. Fantastic Four is going to be a draw. Absolutely. People are going to want to go see it. Jurassic World, like I said, you have a huge audience. Not only are you getting the kids, not only are you getting the dads, but you're getting the moms too. You're getting 3 demographics right there. That's huge. Superman has an uphill battle for sure. It's going to get a lot of money as long as it's marketed well. And that's a key thing. He's wrong about, though, that it's, what does he say here? Superman and casuals, mid-tier, nowadays, just saying. Where's it at here? Because it's really, I said Superman and casuals is lame. Let's be honest. Superman is not lame. And he also said, what is it here? Superman movie nowadays, dude. TikTok can get more views than a Superman movie nowadays, dude. The whole DCU is a desperate, drowning child, and the way it is being structured is bound to fail. I don't understand why people think that. Starting it off with Superman is huge. That is the best way to go. Again, it's all about marketing. They've done well so far because they haven't done much marketing. They've just done little pieces like, here's the logo, here's the suit reveal, which I still say suit reveal was not good. The suit reveal was not good. That was bad. But the logo reveal, great. That was absolutely great. Within the snow and everything like that. That was fantastic what James Gunn did there. What they need to do is make sure they build the hype. They've already started. They said the summer of Superman 2025. They call it the summer of Superman. That if they can keep pushing that idea, the summer of Superman, it's going to be huge. That's going to be huge. You get that in the casual's mind, the summer of Superman, then people are only going to think Superman, summer of Superman, summer of Superman, summer of Superman. You keep getting that into their minds. Summer of Superman. That's a huge, huge thing. It's a huge draw. Toys, you talk about toys. Nobody buys toys. I mean, kids don't buy toys. Nobody buys Marvel toys. I have 6 kids, 3 of which were boys. All right. They've grown up from 2009 to now. None of them bought Marvel toys. None of them bought DC toys. Nobody bought, I mean, a couple of them were into dinosaurs, but barely any. Nobody cares about toys anymore like that. All they care about video games. All they care about are video games. I tried to get them into Star Wars toys. Nobody cared about Star Wars toys. Look, when it comes down to it, this movie, Superman, is going to be fine. Even if it gets stuck between these two, it's going to be fine. This movie is going to make money. Superman will make money. It's going to make money. $600 million, I would say, is the low end of money it's going to make. That's the low end of money. High end, I would say, is probably 900 million. It's not. I can comfortably say $1 billion is pushing it, but no movie needs to make $1 billion. No movie is expected to make $1 billion unless you're now Marvel Studios making an Avengers film or your name is James Cameron. That's it. There's no studio that's expecting $1 billion unless it's those two scenarios at this point in time. So James Gunn isn't going in there thinking his Superman movie is going to make $1 billion. James Gunn and David Zaslav aren't expecting Superman to be this huge hit that's going to, change the world of cinema. That's not what the expectation is. The expectation is for Superman to go in there to be a great start to this cinematic universe, to be a strong start to this cinematic universe, to get fans excited about the DCU, to make good money. Absolutely. They want it to be profitable. They absolutely want it to be profitable. I'm not saying that they're going to be okay with a $200 million flop. They want it to be profitable, and they have a bar that they have an expectation for. 100% true. But the goal of it is to be profitable and to get fans excited about the DCU. If they can hit those two goals, which again, $1 billion isn't that goal. 900 million probably isn't even that goal. But if they can get those two goals, get people excited to want to come back and see Supergirl, watch Peacemaker, or see Amanda Waller, watch Brave and the Bold, and see all of these other things, if they can do that, it was successful. Be damned Jurassic World, be damned Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four already has an established universe. It doesn't have as much of an uphill battle. Jurassic World, it's established universe. It doesn't have an uphill battle. And that's the beauty of all of it. That is the beauty of Superman. Because it's new, it's fresh, it's exciting. So people are going to go into it because it's new, fresh, and exciting. They market it new, fresh, exciting. Summer of Superman. It's going to make money. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be fun. It's a new Superman. Who's this? A new suit. What is this? That's what's going to be exciting. That's what's going to be fun. That's why people are going to go see it. That is the whole idea behind this movie. That is the whole idea behind it. Again, if Jurassic World doesn't move, if Fantastic Four doesn't move, it can still be successful. It doesn't need to make $1 billion to be successful. 600, 700, 800 million dollars. We know James Gunn can make 800, 900 million dollar movies. He's done it with his Guardians of the Galaxy. He's made 850, 860, 870 million dollar movies with the Guardians of the Galaxy. But that's with the Marvel brand behind it. You're right, it is. And I get that. I understand that. But give him some credit. Give him some credit. Because Guardians of the Galaxy 3 came out during a time that nobody was going to comic book movies. Nobody wanted to see comic book movies. Those Marvel movies were getting hammered. They were just terrible movies. Nobody was going to see them. So give him some credit. He can make it happen. So I think it's going to be fine. Even though my speculation, my true honest opinion is Fantastic Four is going to move. That one will move 100%. And I think there's a good chance when Fantastic Four moves, Jurassic World will move as well. But 100% sure Fantastic Four is going to move. Jurassic World, I'm about 50% on. But Fantastic Four, I think 100% is going to move. But let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to hear what you think. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. All right, what does the chat have to say about this? Kind of let it go. I don't even know where I'm at. This is a lot. Oh, man. Whew. So many chats. I don't know where I'm at. Jurassic, a huge win for comic book fans. July is going to be crazy. I'm going to start there. I'm sorry if I missed your chat before that. I do look. I want to say this to guarantee a chat, like because it's been getting crazy. I would be forever grateful if you did super chats, but it will guarantee that I see a chat. So if you really, really want me to get it, see a chat and talk about it, a super chat, $1, $2, whatever it is, I would be forever grateful. Super chat up there. I will 100% be grateful. I will call you out. I will 100% talk about your put your chat up here. But I get lost, so I'm sorry. Jalen says July is going to be crazy. TSC Paul says a huge win for comic book fans. Kevin says, Kevin Davis, what's up, man? Marvel Studios has changed. Change is a good thing. Matthew says Jurassic Park series 7th, World 4th. I can see how they got confused. Jurassic Park will be only hit film for Universal Pictures in 2025. TSC, Superman won't flop. People forget he's an iconic character and that we haven't had a Superman film in over 10 years. That's wild, dude. But I mean, before that, well, Superman Returns was 2005. But then before that was the 80s. So, yeah, crazy. Costa, what's up? To be honest, Superman situation kind of reminds me on how in 2023 people thought that Transformer Rise of the Beast would have been crushed by Indiana Jones and The Flash. In the end, Rise of the Beast won. Well, did you see Indiana Jones? That was bad. That was real bad. Flash, I like Flash. I liked Flash. I don't know why people didn't like. I get the CGI wasn't great. The baby stuff was horrible. But besides, if you can get past the baby stuff and some of the bad VFX, the movie was good. It was fun. It was exciting. I enjoyed it. Andrew JD says, can't wait for next year. It's going to be fun for sure. Jalen Harris, people love dinosaurs. Why? I honestly can say the last 2 movies were boring and bad and still did billions somehow. I agree. I thought the last 2 were pretty bad. And honestly, I mean, have you ever fallen down the rabbit hole that dinosaurs weren't actually real? Did you ever fall down that? They should do a Jurassic World about that. That would be, I would pay to see that. I would love that. Matthew Goddard, I hated World. It was a requel like The Force Awakens. I can't talk, man. I'm talking for an hour. Azio, I'm pretty sure Superman will not move, mainly because the movie started going to post-production while still filming. They will probably finish in like a few months. The other ones are still filming. Well, Superman post-production started a while ago. They're going to go into post. They'll be in post for probably another 6 months plus. It'll probably finish around May post-production. They go as long as they can in post-production nowadays. I mean, if the director, if the filmmaker, if the studio allows them, they will go up to the day before they premiere it. If the studio allows the post-production team, I mean, if they will go as long as they can, because there's always work to be done on post-production. So they'll go as long as they can. Critic Chris says, from my perspective, last Fantastic Four was flat out bomb, while the first 2 films was just not great. I've read people sick of Jurassic World already. Another follow-up, I'd say it's all fair game. Jurassic World was terrible, but I guess Chris Pratt and Opie's daughter were okay. Andrew, my guess was also Fantastic Four. Oh. Critics says, and only new Jurassic World cast I'm familiar with is Scarlett. You don't know Mahershala Ali? Come on, man. Mahershala Ali. He's a great actor. He won an award. He was in Moonlighting, whatever it was. Was that what it's called? I don't remember. What else? He was in Alita Battle Angel. If you saw that, he was good in that. TSC, I don't think the Fantastic Four is a big an IP as Superman. The general audience might not know the team as well. So that's my take on it. That's a good take. I mean, you're not wrong. Yeah, I think Fantastic Four is going to move. They need to make it as good as possible visually, filming right now, but Superman already wrapped in pure post-production right now. It's going to move. They need to make it as good as possible visually, filming right now, but Superman all wrapped in post-production right now. Yeah. I mean, that's what I said. I mean, they need to make it as good as possible, and they're still filming. Sure, they could be doing post-production work while filming, but it's going to be a lot. Critics says Blade isn't coming. Very unlikely. Agreed. Just cancel Blade at this rate. And this is coming from a Blade fan. Just do it. Marvel, Jalen. Matthew got at seeing the T-Rex from the original was kind of cool, but it's a series built on nostalgia with no story basis for what they're doing. They left Crichton long ago. TSC said, and you're right, they did leave Crichton long ago. I mean, even the original wasn't anything like the book. I mean, if you think about it, it was like the book was a straight up horror book. The movie was not a horror film. Blade switched directors and writers way too many times, as TSC polls correct, and they're never going to get it right. They just need to shelve it for a couple years and come back to it. Kevin says Marvel Studios post Endgame success, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, Wakanda Forever, Thor Love and Thunder, Guardians of the Galaxy, Shang-Chi. Thor Love and Thunder was not a success. I mean, maybe financially, but critically and audience reception, not at all. Shang-Chi is my favorite post Endgame. Shang-Chi is fantastic, is a fantastic movie. I don't care what anybody says. It is my favorite post Endgame movie at this point. Better than No Way Home, even in my opinion. I said it. I said it. Come at me. I said it. This could be an Oppenheimer Barbie situation of good movies helping each other at the box office. Meh, maybe. Critic says I'd move Fantastic Four to August or September at the latest. Cosmic Nerdy Gemini. How's it going? Slav, I'm excited for 3 films. I am watching all 3 of them. Hey, I mean, that's cool. I'll probably see all 3 as well. But I don't think they're all gonna come out back to back to back like that. Critic says Superman isn't going to be crushed. Man, okay. Comments are I'm way back. Whew, man, so many comments. Hype for it has been building up, he says about Superman. Let me see. Is there anybody here that hasn't talked for a while? Let's see. Kevin says James Gunn is not going to change anything at all with DC Studios. Matthew says I've got 1 Superman film since 2 that wasn't trash. Man of Steel. You're right. You're exactly. Well, I liked Returns. It wasn't great, but I will say it wasn't trash. The fandom, man, doesn't matter how much money it makes. It really matters that the movie is good, and that's all you need. Well, it does kind of matter how much money it makes. It does. Fantastic Four moves totally. They just started filming. It's crazy to think it makes it to the July date. Cosmic Nerdy Gemini, I don't care. I am watch all 3 of them, but I'm excited for Superman 2025. Kevin Davis says Joker Dave Coulier, global box office total run prediction 400 to 600 million. I think you were saying that a couple weeks ago. I think it's going to make closer to $1 billion, but hey, you can all say what you want to say. Look, I'm going to wrap up this show, guys. It was an excellent show. Thank you all so much for joining. This was a great show yet again. Thursday, I will have another show. I don't have a time. It'll probably be closer to 8:30 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday. So please, Man of Steel, Magnolias, can't wait. I don't know what you're saying. Can't wait for it. But make sure you stop by on Thursday as well. I don't have the topic yet. I'm trying to figure out a topic. So please let me know in the comments what you would like to talk about. My Thursday shows are not news centric. I want to do just one main topic. We talk about one topic. It's me and you, the audience. Just discuss a topic for an hour or so. We talk one topic. So let me know your thoughts on what that topic should be in the comments, and we will talk about it on Thursday. All right. So with all that said, guys, thank you all so much for stopping by and watching, and I will catch you all later.